Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Icon. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. Today, we are on board with Formal as he goes absolutely nuts in this domination matchup against the Seattle Surge. Real quick, just a really fast announcement here. Thank you so much for all of those people that have been joining me on twitch.tv/IconNationYT. We have been doing a stream every night for about an hour and a half or 2 hours where we've been taking matchups. We've been taking games, scrims, we've been breaking down them live. People have been asking questions, and it's just been a really fun time. So if you're interested in watching some of this stuff live, you can find us every night 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/IconNationYT. But without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get into the actual breakdown of this one. And I'm going to pause it right here. I'm going to bring up the minimap, and I want you guys to just have a little bit of knowledge about what the best strategy for locking down this map is, because it doesn't last very long. So if you spawn on this left-hand side of the map, that is the dominant spawn. You want to quickly gain A, you want to rotate up towards B. The most dominant side is to lock down A and B, and then you can work towards getting kills in these areas of the map. If you lock down a couple of the choke points here towards the top of the map, then essentially you're just going to be spawn trapping your enemy team up on the top right-hand side of the map. Now, the next extent of that strategy is to send somebody after you have A, after you have B. Then at that point in time, you allow somebody to leak out, and you start to play this cat and mouse game at C. So you capture C, or you don't capture C, but you'll neutral C, and then as that's happening, as soon as you neutral it, you just run away. So when you have A and you have B and you start to neutral C, that locks your enemy into a spawn trap at the top right-hand side of the map. So as they start to work back, this is basically mainly a 1v1. So you neutral it, they hop on, you get that kill, and then you run somewhere else. Somebody else comes, hop on, you get that kill, you run somebody else, right? It's just kind of a cat and mouse game. Meanwhile, while that's happening, the rest of their team is trying to get towards B. So you're locking down these two lanes at the top of the map. You're playing that cat and mouse game down here at C. And while that's happening, all the meantime, you have A and B, and there's just a big spawn trap that comes in. So as we watch that, just kind of look out for this. And it's a little bit hard to see because basically Formal runs that AR, which we all know, but he's just looking over B, right? So he's really just locking down B. So as soon as Seattle like this starts to go forward towards B, this is Formal's job here, is just to get kills on top of B. Right there is an insane four-piece, right? There's only a few AR players in the game that can really make that happen. He happens to be one of them, but this is what he does. Now, he picked up an SMG, so he's getting a little bit of courage here moving forward towards bottom water. But you can see right now that Chicago has A, they have B locked down. They actually just had C captured. So essentially, as they're moving forward here, they're going to push back in towards C, and it's just going to be the same strategy over and over again, right? So they have A, they have B, they're working towards C, just trying to neutralize while maintaining their A and their B caps. Now, the other thing to watch out for, you can actually see that somebody, I think it's Envoy, is on top of C right now. He did end up going down, so it was Arcides, but they got it neutralized. So for every 5 seconds, you're gaining 2 points, your enemies are gaining 0 points, and you have them spawn trapped up towards the top side of the map. One thing to watch for, so if we want to talk about overextending, say we're actually seeing Chicago spawn on the top side of the map right now, which means that Seattle's probably pushing down towards the bottom map. So you're spawning here, you have A and B, right? If you get that top spawn, the way that you break out of this is if you're getting this spawn as Seattle, you want to push down, you want to capture C. Now, once you do from there, you can certainly make your way back towards B, but if you do that, what that leaves open is somebody pushing the bottom side of the map and starting that cat and mouse game all over again on C. So the way that you overextend is, rather than go back to B, you push through P4 down towards bottom woods and you try to capture A. If you can overtake these spawns, then now all of a sudden the map can start to flip in your favor, right? If you hop on A and say you capture A, now you have spawns on the left-hand side of the map and you have A and you have C. So if you're pushing down towards the bottom of the map, that's why Chicago would get this spawn up towards the top of the map. And then After you have A and C, if you're getting this spawn on the left-hand side of the map and you're so lucky, you can then push out this top side of the map. You can capture B, and if you capture B, that is going to force Chicago to spawn over here towards C. So the way that you effectively go about flipping the map here is by, after you capture C, you can continue to beat your head against the wall all you want, trying to get back towards B, or you could overextend, go towards A, and try to flip it that way. So it's hard to do either of those, right? That's what's kind of the good thing about Domination, is that you get 5 minutes on good side, 5 minutes on bad side. So it's definitely even which way who ends up winning. But right now, that's exactly what Seattle's trying to do, right? They're pushing the bottom part of the map. As Formal sitting up here, that's why he's watching this cross. He's just waiting for anybody from Seattle to cross over through that green ramp right there. And with that happening, his SMGs have recovered. So now as his SMGs push the bottom side of the map, they're probably about to hop onto C to neutralize. And as it neutrals, then he's just going to be watching the push towards B-Dom. So I don't know. It's a little bit less exciting to watch Formal's point of view, right? You don't really get to see all that much. There's not as much in-your-face action. But if he's doing this, that means that the map is going your way, right? If he's just constantly locking down B by himself, then that allows your SMGs to push forward, to approach C, to try to neutral C, to even maybe triple cap if the opportunity presents itself. But if we're looking at the score in the bottom left-hand corner, it is currently a 78-25 ball game. And I just want you to think about that for a second. If you have 2 flags and your enemy has 1 flag, that means you can make up 1 point every 5 seconds, which means over the course of a minute, you can gain a 12-point lead. They're up by 60, and we still have a minute and a half left in the first round. So that's how dominant they've been, not only holding their 2 cap, but at the beginning they had a 3 cap, and they also were able to neutral on C. So with about a minute left, I do want you guys to listen in here on this side. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn up the volume. I'm going to let you listen into their team comp so you can hear exactly what Chicago's talking about in a dominant matchup like this.
I'm on the fucking move, baby.
Grab.
I spawned forest, guys. I'm blocking A. I'm blocking A. There's one B.
What's middle tracks on me? Water, weak.
Oh, he's tilted.
What the?
So I want to point that out real quick, because you heard right there that Arcides is blocking A. So sometimes what can happen, we saw them spawning up towards B, right? And if Chicago has B and they have A, but Formal's sitting back here in spawn, and all of their SMGs are pushed up towards C. Right now, it's a triple cap, right? Well, if everybody is pushed up and they continue to capture C, then what could potentially happen is the game could spawn Seattle out, and they could get this initial A spawn. So, as you just heard Arcides talking, rather than continue to push up towards C, Envoy and Scump and Pristini, they're already all pushed up that far. So, Arcides just said, I'm going to push back, and now he's sitting in this area, and he's just blocking that A spawn. So since they have A, since they have B, and they're pushed up onto C flag, that means that Seattle is stuck, right? They're over here in this corner, and they have to basically get a team kill in order to get out of it. So just want to make sure that we were covering what exactly that conversation meant.
Front P2 weak, front P2 weak, and one's middle tracks.
Yeah, 2 mid tracks.
We learned how to play Dom, bro.
C pressure, brother.
And right there, there was like 30 some seconds left in the game, and they had enough. They just ended it. They said, obviously, there's no way that they were coming back. Here's the nasty 4-piece from Formal at the beginning of this round. But I am going to wait. I do want to show you guys the overall scoreboard, because when we bring this up, Formal was 13-1. Envoy was 17-7. Pristini didn't even really do anything. Pristini was 7-5. Arcides was 10-6. Scump was 13-7. And if you look down below, it is ugly. So Proto was 7-12. Apathy was 7-12. Octane was 4-13. When have you ever seen Octane go 4-13? Pander was 5-13, and Slacked was 3-10. So it was just a complete beatdown. Chicago ended up owning this domination map the entire way. And one thing that I'll say before we end out of this is that this is a new roster for Seattle, right? So sometimes, or most of the time, when you scrimmage another team, you play like every single hardpoint map. So you end up playing way more hardpoint than you play any other game modes like search and domination. So early on like this, that's why Seattle is able to compete in a lot of the hard points like they did against Chicago earlier in this scrim. But when it comes to a domination, there's just so much team chemistry and so much that goes into it that they just really haven't had enough time for that to settle in yet. I'm sure it'll come in due time, hopefully here over the next month or so. But even though this map looked bad, it's not all bad, right? So with that, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. If you're new around here, this is the first time you've watched one of my videos. I put out brand new videos every single day breaking down footage from the Call of Duty League, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Any comments you have on this one, put them down below. I've been loving the comments and the interactions as of late. Leave a like before you head on the way. It really helps out the channel. And with that, thank you guys. I will see you in tomorrow's upload.